Ms. Wallowing Bull. I understand that there are regulatory requirements that cause difficulty for tribes meeting their obligations under the Safe Drinking Water Act. One of the things we've heard is that the tight time frame to have water on the reservation sampled in an approved lab can be a struggle. Have you had that problem? And if so, how can we address this?
Senator Lummis, yes, we face those same issues. Part of it is because of the lab, like I stated before, the lab locations that we have where we take the sampling are in the local communities, which are Lander and Riverton. That's where we submit our sampling. Mm-hmm. One of the sampling places closed, so it's hard to, that timeline, and it's expensive, but so I think just allowing us a little more time to get the sampling in, because I know that is a violation when we are late for turning in sampling, but we're such a rural location, it's hard to meet those demands all the time.
When one of the sites closed, do you know what the reason was that it closed?
No, I'm not sure what it was.
Okay, I might look into that.
Okay.
When it comes to tribes utilizing the funding Congress has set up, I sort of get the sense that you're spending a lot of time filling out paperwork for grant programs. Can Congress do a better job of streamlining the grant application process? And do you have any recommendations for us in doing so?
So when you're talking about the EPA funding, I believe that EPA should be working with the tribes directly. I know that their funding is funneled through IHS currently, and the process for applying for grants through IHS can be time-consuming and tedious. It is, they have a scoring system, so you have to score really well. Your projects are, you got to meet different areas of criteria. Like I said, it's different agencies, but I think when you're dealing with bigger projects and EPA, I think EPA should be responsible for working with the tribe directly, not funneling the funding through other agencies.
That's really good advice, because that is just red tape upon red tape, and it hurts the tribes as much as anybody, perhaps more than anybody who's dealing with compliance issues. Mr. Norton, we've talked about the struggle to find trained and certified workforces.
Yes.
Who sets those salaries, and why is this an area that's so underpaid?
It's based upon the hookups. It's based upon the services to the community. When you have a rural community like Hoopaw, the reservation I'm from, there are 800 hookups that are extended over long periods of long pipelines. And the cost and maintenance of those providing water to our tribal household is costly. So what we have to look at other subsidies for paying a competitive wage. And if I may, we just had a tribal operator leave our reservation because he was making a substandard salary, and he has the educational background, but he moved to Sacramento and is making 3 times the amount. It's not because he wants to leave the reservation. Our ancestors have been there for thousands of years. Our families are there. So it's a difficulty of meeting the salaries of having experienced and qualified certified operators to our wastewater and drinking water systems.
So when Ms. Wallowing Bull said that there are 5 systems among the 2 communities, Ethity and Fort Washakie.
Arapaho.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
So those are spread out as well. Is that the big problem?
Yes. Like I stated, in Ethity we have water, a water system. In Arapaho we have 2 water systems, but we have 5 lagoons between both communities.
5 lagoons.
So Both communities are separate, so, you know, the water line ends with, so the areas in between those communities are on wells, so.
Thank you, appreciate it. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.